Hello, hello. We are back with another Floral Friday, and this week I'm so excited to share. I got all of these flowers at the grocery store, a local grocery store where I live called Trader Joe's. I'm sure you guys have heard of it. They had the best selection of flowers I have probably ever seen them have, and we are going to make a little fall arrangement. This arrangement will be a little different mechanical wise. We are going to use a flower frog and water instead of the Oasis floral foam. So that's what I have inside of my compote here. You can get this compote floral frogs on Amazon. They are pretty inexpensive, and you can reuse them over and over again, unlike floral foam because you have to dispose of it. You will have to forgive me. I thought my microphone was working and it was not. So that is why I'm recording a voiceover. I am still getting the hang of these long form vlogs. So if you don't mind just giving me a little grace and I will walk you through this arrangement. It's going to be so beautiful. To catch up a little bit with the video, I placed my garden roses in kind of a, asymmetrical shape. They are a gorgeous garden rose, kind of like a peachy tone. And now I'm going in with my fun little sunflowers. These sunflowers have a yellow center and I thought they were very cute. So I grabbed those at the store. And we're going in, spacing out as we can because the blooms are huge. So we're trying to figure out kind of what shape we're going with. Now, if you've never designed with a floral frog before, make sure you're cutting the stems and really feeding it into the needles of the frog so it can stand upright in the correct position you want it to stay. And honestly, it's a little more gracious because you can remove the stems and then reinsert. Unlike floral foam, you can't really do that or it'll crumble away. Now I'm going in with my dahlias. I was literally shocked when I saw white dahlias at Trader Joe's. It's my all-time favorite flower. I named my other floral business after white dahlias and I was like, oh my gosh, like this is meant to be. So we're placing dahlias. Dahlias are a little more finicky. They do not like heat, so make sure it's really in the water. You're gonna probably have to refill this arrangement a lot of big stems going in here, so just have to take precaution if you're putting this inside your house or whatever. Just make sure you're refreshing the water daily. And once again, like I said, make sure all of the foliage is off. You can leave some of the buds. Sometimes they're super cute to kind of add in there for a different texture. When you shop the grocery store flowers, they give you the preservative. Go ahead and use that so it can last as long as possible. And sorry about me talking because I thought my microphone was on. So yeah, we're just figuring this out. So for this color palette, it's going to be very heavy with the yellow and orange tones, but I did want to add in a color, like a rusty color. So these little mums were absolutely perfect. I'm literally obsessed. They're rust as opposed to like a red. And so we're going to go in with that, add a little bit in pops of color for our fall arrangement, really giving the fall vibes. Placing the color strategically. Since our base is like orange and yellow, I'm going to make sure I put the red in a very special spot so it doesn't look overcrowded and all of that. After we place the rust mums, we're going to go in with the auburn mums and just do the exact same thing. Distribute the color, fill in the gaps, and we'll start with our fillers after. Okay, so now we're going in with some spray roses. These are my absolute favorite spray roses. I don't typically like spray roses because they're really like stiff, but these are so bouncy, fluffy, and they smell amazing. I use these in weddings all the time. They're such a great filler flower. You can tuck them in, or you can leave them open and proud, and they just add the most fluffy, elegant touch to arrangements. And when I saw them at Trader Joe's, I was like, oh, we're getting those 100%. Love them so much. I wish I could grow some. I might actually try that, but we're doing the same thing. This time I'm kind of going through and making sure I'm filling in any major gaps. The white is also kind of our accent color, so making sure I distribute that color well, going through, just making sure, turning my arrangement. Also, your flower frog might get a little crowded now. Not too bad, but make sure you're really sticking it through the needle. Also, we are going to go in with some ranunculus, my tried and true, one of my all-time favorite flowers. I mean, how many flowers are my favorite? I don't even know, but this is something I use all the time. And Trader Joe's had them. Once again, their flower game is seriously on point. Okay, these are our dancing blooms, just like the last few times. I like to leave these tall, proud. I love their funky little stems. I love to leave them being all funky and fresh. So we're gonna check these out. Okay, actually, I do remember this part of the video. I know we're in a voiceover, but look how cute. I love him. He's so cute. Okay, so I think he was so fun, so I'm gonna put him on the top. And you know the drill. Distribute the color, cut at an angle, make sure it has water. Love him. He's so cute. Now, I don't typically design with calla lilies, but I loved the color of these so much, and I thought I would add a different texture since we have a lot of round blooms, and thought the color would kind of differentiate with the darker rust and kind of transition to the lighter rust. I'm just not a huge fan of their shape. I think they typically are used like individually or more modern designs, but I figured this one could use some funkiness. So I'm going in with these, just adding a new texture, spacing them out. Now we're going in with all of our filler flowers. We're going to start out with yarrow. I am obsessed with this flower. Such a beautiful mustard color. It just gives a fun little texture. I'm going to leave these a lot taller just so we can see them. They look a little different, but I love how funky they are. They just give a fun texture. You can actually grow these. And they are perennial, so they'll come back every year. I have a few in my garden that come back every year, and I think I'm gonna plant more because I'm just so obsessed with them. So next, we're gonna go in with something that you guys are familiar with from our last video. It's chamomile. I love to pop these into fall arrangements as well, just because it gives like a fun, whimsical vibe. They're so bouncy, dainty, and you can get them all year round. So they're like a perfect filler for this style of arrangement. And since we have that accent color of white, it will help kind of tie it all together with the little yellow inside. And I just absolutely love using these. and they smell so good. I am so obsessed. So with these, you kind of have to cut a little differently. I'm bundling them together and then pushing them in as far as I can. They will sit at different heights. Obviously, I'm not making them all one height, but that's kind of like the vibe of it. Just very whimsical, wildflower. They are a wildflower, so we want to get that theme in here too. So bundle them up and find a good home and make sure they're in lots of water. Make sure all those stems are just kind of in the arrangement. They probably won't stick into the floral frog very good, but making sure they're just tucked in will be fine because the rest of the flowers will keep them upright. And last but not least, we are going to add one more red flower. I like to work in odd numbers, so when designing, it's just kind of a rule of thumb to work in odd numbers. And since our arrangement is so orange and yellow heavy, we do need to tie in a sprinkle of rust one more time just to give it that little rounded look. These are butterfly ranunculus, one of my favorites to use during the fall. They have a stunning rust color when they open up. They're a little closed right now, as you can tell, but when they open, oh my gosh, they're just so stunning. I use these all the time, especially in the fall, and in the spring I use the white/pink color. But this is our last flower of the arrangement, so this is really going to tie it all together and make it bouncy, whimsical, fun. That's the theme of my floral arrangements, is garden theme. That's my style. It's very organic, very loose, not overly structured. So if you like my tutorials, let me know, like and subscribe, and you can learn all that there is to learn about floral arrangements. And I'm going to do one of these every Friday. Like I said, it's our Floral Friday. And I love doing these so much. So it is a dream come true being able to do these. Since I do not do events anymore as much, I still do them. It is just so much fun to be able to actually teach the skills I've learned over the last 10 years. And here we are. Thanks, guys.